Good morning. Good morning. Let's rise and sing.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. That's right. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. That's right. Love is my power. Yeah. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks, that's right, for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Let's say that again. God gives me everything I need. One more time. God gives me everything I need. Woohoo! Yeah!
Thank you, Elise Carver, for leading us in that, and thank you to all of you for your beautiful voices. What does God give you? Everything you need. Absolutely. Absolutely. So good to be here with all of you. Take a look around at everyone who is here with you today and give a wave to someone, send some love to someone, send some joy to someone, some peace to someone, and then turn back to all the people online, and we welcome all of you online, and send some love to the online people. Yay. Yay, online folks. The folks online, we are so in love with you as well. You're such a big part of this community, and we just love that you are with us. And we know there's no time or space in God, so it's almost like you're right here in the auditorium. In fact, I would say you are right here in the auditorium. So good to be here at a place where we're on a journey together. Who's on a journey? Yeah, we're on a journey with no destination other than just to keep awakening to the bigger and greater truth of our being. There's no end in mind. It's just like we're just here to be supported by each other, to lift up each other, to lift up ourselves, ultimately to transform the entire planet. And really, that transformation is simply that everyone awakens to their own spiritual magnificence. And then when they awaken to their own spiritual magnificence, they see the spiritual magnificence of everyone else. Amen? All right. Thank you so much. We've got Reverend Catherine McKinney, one of our amazing staff ministers, to give us our announcements.
As I begin announcements, I first ask you the big question. Have you silenced your phone? It's so helpful if you take that step. So here we go. We really give big thanks to both Mark Ruth and Paresh Shah for their service on the Board of Trustees for the last 3 years. Thank you. It is a great endeavor. They have completed their term, and we'd like to ask them just to stand so we can acknowledge them nicely. Yes? And at our annual meeting, we elected 2 new board members, and we'd like to ask you to stand. Bob Waldron, if you're here, and Dan Benner, if you are here. They may be working someplace else. We are glad to have them. We're pretending like they're standing up. We're talking about our spiritual retreat, which is this coming fall. It's been several years since we've had our own spiritual retreat as a community, as our church community. So we're inviting all of you to join us for the holiday weekend in October, which is October 9th through the 12th this year. And it's for a spiritual retreat at Simi Valley at their retreat campus of the American Jewish University. We'll have a whole weekend of great music, workshops, talks, and fun activities. Families are very, very welcome at this retreat center. There's a flyer in the lobby, and it's been updated for prices and different options that you would have for going. Check that out and begin to sign up. I think some families have already begun. There's pricing and payment plans if you want to get started early. We are having today, right here in this sanctuary, what is titled a Meditation for Beginners Workshop with Vish Chatterjee. Now, it will be today at 12:30. The cost is $20. And I want to say to you that, as Joel Goldsmith said once that I read, that there is no wrong way to do meditation. But what you have the opportunity to learn today is a lot of different ways of doing and approaches to meditation from someone who is such a source for this wonderful workshop this afternoon. It begins at 12:30, and it's right here in the sanctuary. So join me as we go into a different world with a different experience of meditation. Meetings. The Men's Spirit Group will be meeting tomorrow night, Monday, May the 4th, at 7 p.m. right in the foyer. And on the coming Wednesday, May the 6th, we will have the Labyrinth Walk in Richelieu Hall after the service in Richelieu Hall. The Women's Circle is going to be meeting next Sunday, which is the 10th of May, and it will meet at 12:30. We invite you every week, if you would consider bringing a can of food, just one can of food to put in our container out there as we begin to replenish our supply closet for those who may come to us in need. This is an opportunity to simply share. We have another author speaker series that's going to be this coming Friday at 6:30 in Richelieu Hall. Our speaker will be Raphael McMaster with his book, Fundamental Life Tools. It's a practical guide to navigating life with more clarity, self-control, resilience, and purpose. That's this Friday at 6:30 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. Now, coming up the following week, we have ecstatic dance, the ever-popular ecstatic dance, on Wednesday, May the 13th at 7 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. Now, we have what is called a Death Cafe, which will be meeting on Saturday, May the 16th at 2 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. Now, join us to simply have a relaxed conversation about death and dying. This is not a grief group. This is just an idea to explore at a very safe place to talk. That is Saturday, May 16th at 2 p.m. The Sunshine Kids Club on Mother's Day, which is the next Sunday coming up. If you have a child that has been attending the Sunshine Kids Club, you are in for a treat. I started to say retreat, but it is a treat, after service on Mother's Day. Please plan on come and see what your children have been making for you. Now, the teens are beginning a different kind of fundraiser, and they will be set up in Richelieu Hall with a table. They have a T-shirt project that they have begun, and so they're going to invite you to pre-order the T-shirts that they're going to make. They have a mock-up at the table, so you see what they're going to look at. And they bought all the sizes of the T-shirts so you can pick out what size that you would like to order. Now, the purpose of this pre-sale or pre-ordering is to give them an idea not only of how many they want to order, But the sizes, I mean, do we have more larges than anything? Do we have more mediums? What would that be? And you will help out by checking out what they're doing back there in the back. And you get to take a look at it and feel the shirt itself. So it's just an opportunity. Check out what the teens are doing, and they'll give you more information than I am here. Now, if you need, we are also having, I'm about to leave something off, on May the 24th, which is not the last Sunday of the month, the fourth Sunday, we invite you to bring someone you'd like to introduce this center to. So we're having Bring a Friend to Church Sunday on May the 24th. So spread the word and just put it on social media if you choose to invite people to come. If you need more information about any of this, always check that activity table. There's wealth of information on the paperwork that's back there. If you want prayer today, right here by the piano is the place that the prayer circle will form for a practitioner leading your prayer today. And you are also invited, if you choose to be more private, to request prayer. We have a prayer box out in the foyer, and honestly, it says practitioner. The sign is right over it. Just go look at where that sign is, and you can find that prayer box very, very easily. So we are inviting many ways to pray. We're looking for our new friends, people who are here for the first time today, we invite you to just raise your hand. Oh, the bags are standing by. Look at all the ladies with bags. It's wonderful. There's one, Laura, back on the other side there. Oh, there's more than one. Here, we've got a lot of friends today. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Keep your hand up in case they haven't seen you yet, and they will be happy to give you the share of that. Oh, down front. We've got one way down front here. Yes, Laura, there's one right in there, I understand. So isn't it great to have new people coming? Thank you all for being here. We appreciate your presence. You are very, very welcome. And now, as we're closing announcements, we remind you we have a Wednesday service every Wednesday. And this Wednesday's inspirational service will be led by me, and Reverend Catherine McKinney, and Elise Carver will be at the keyboard on Wednesday. So thank you. And we never close without thanking the wonderful volunteers we have at this service. They're all over the place on a Sunday, and they help this church to run. And we are so, so grateful for everything they do. So thank you for being here today, and as we move into our quiet time.
I would invite you all to turn within for a moment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy. Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy. Even in the tiniest blade of grass I see God. Even in the tiniest grain of sand I feel God. Even in the scent upon the air I smell God. For God is everywhere. Spirit
Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy. Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy.
Spirit's presence is in everything. Every single person is holy. That divine spark, that divine essence, that divine beingness is everywhere present. It is present right where I am. It is the very I am of my being. And just as this is true for me, this is the truth for each one of us. It is the truth for each one that concerns each one of us. Every single person, a unique way that this one infinite power, intelligence, creativity, love, joy, peace is expressing itself. So I know here today, this morning in our celebration service, in our coming together in community, that we are lifting up that truth. And we are opening our being right now, knowing that that Spirit is present right where I am and that I am a place of holiness. I know that each of us are opening our being to just allow that divine splendor to flow forth. And so we fill up this space, we fill up this room with that divine splendor because we know who we are, whose we are, what we are. And this just spills out all the way into our entire world, to those online, to everyone, everywhere. There's just the shining of our light, the knowing of our divinity. Something beautiful and amazing is happening here today, and it is each one of us. For this, I am so grateful, and I release this, I let it be, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning. So a couple weeks ago, Mark Ruth spoke about a great class he's teaching that several of us are taking. It's called The Power of Decision. We're using a book by Raymond Charles Barker. You may remember that he was a Unity minister who became a friend of Ernest Holmes. He later became an icon of science of mind. So he wrote another book about one of my favorite topics. It's called Treat Yourself to Life, and it's about prayer. So he takes us through each of the four major experiences of life: health, wealth, love, and self-expression, teaching us how to think about each of them, and of course it all has to do with our thought. Regarding wealth, he said, we must think of ourselves as prosperous, but is that only money? His definition is, it actually is the ability to do everything we want to do today in the way we want to do it. In attracting loving relationships, he suggests beginning daily treatment of ourselves in a consciousness of love by feeling oneness, as love is the feeling of being at one with someone or some group. We are to declare that we let love express through us. In considering health, we may need to deny what the world believes about age. We can see ourselves as maturing, but still see our body as radiantly healthy. And in what we know as creative self-expression, what we call work, he addresses success. Everyone is born with a capacity for success and an emotional need and drive for it. The creative power, he said, is within you, operating from the center of you. It's the way God acts in you. By the way, there are 2 places in the New Testament where it mentions that we should pray without ceasing. So how can we do that since we all have these hectic, busy lives, right? Maybe we're like the guy who discovered the secret to doing this and he said, it's becoming apparent. Or is that a little more like worry? No, actually, praying without ceasing is one of the principles of science of mind, except we call it practicing the presence. Ernest Holmes mentioned this on page 413 of the Science of Mind text. To do it is to awaken within us the Christ consciousness, which is a realization of our oneness with good and the Spirit of God. So we can begin doing this by first starting to just think about prayer. Maybe we can create ways to remind ourselves to do this during the day, but eventually we can get into a habit that's more of a continual method. Rather than just talking to ourselves, we can direct that to God. Prayer can become as important to us as our soul, as breathing is to our body. Prayer helps us to foster a constant awareness of the presence of God, and it can become a quiet knowing that we're never alone. So please affirm with me, I connect with Spirit throughout every day. And so it is. Okay, thank you.
I would like to welcome up the Joyful Waves Choir.
The first song we'll be singing is called Walking with God by Ricky Byers, and we'll feature 2 soloists, Lisa Rodriguez and Jean-Louis Boudreau.
What kept me sad was the story in my head about what I never had and what I never said. But I can sing a song the flowers gave to me. Helps me to be strong. It helps me to be free. Now I'm walking with you. When I'm talking with you, I'm talking with God. When I'm praying with you, I'm praying with God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. When I'm laughing with you, I'm laughing with God. And when I'm singing with you, I'm singing with and in the arms of my friends, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, then everything is God.
There is a road, a journey we must take. It starts from within, that's just a thought away. I've got a song that the flowers gave to me. Helps me to be strong, helps me to be free. When I'm walking with you, I'm walking with God. When I'm talking with you, I'm talking with God. When I'm praying with you, God is all there is.
Everything is God.
When I'm laughing with you,
I'm laughing with God.
when I'm singing with you,
I'm singing with God.
when in the arms of my friend,
I'm in the arms of God.
if God is all there is,
Everything is God.
the Joyful Waves Choir. Let's give them some love. Good God morning to everyone. I am Reverend Gregory Toole, still, just in case there are new people who don't know who I am. What a pleasure it is to be here today. This whole month, we're focusing on self-awareness. How many are aware of yourself? That's good. It's good to be aware of ourselves. Today, we're talking about, the topic is called The Thunder of Silence. The Thunder of Silence. And that's the title of a book by Joel Goldsmith, The Thunder of Silence. So we're going to be talking about silence today. So be quiet now. I saw a joke that said, silence is golden unless you have children, and then it's just suspicious. But this is a subject, silence, that is near and dear to my heart. So much, the thunder of silence to me is that there's so much going on when we enter the silence of our being. Like Spirit is always speaking to us, right? But sometimes we cloud all that out. We have the TV going all day, or we have our music player going all day, or we have social media going all day, and we crowd out that small voice within us that is constantly speaking to us. Yesterday in our foundational class, this came up because I was sharing the story about how I relate it to Anita Morjani's story about how, she was on the other side, and she was having this experience of looking back and seeing that she had, her most popular book is called Dying to Be Me. And one of her realizations, as I interpret it, was that she was shutting down herself so much that she was shutting down herself. She was killing herself by shutting herself down. And I, in leaving my corporate career, have shared many times that when I was making that decision, it was kind of like choiceless choice. It was a choice and it was a decision. And people would say, oh, you were so courageous. But I always say, no, it wasn't courageous at all. Because the choice was, I could feel viscerally in my being, it was so strong, I could feel that this choice to continue that career that was going against the grain of everything I came here to do and be was death, basically. And I felt it viscerally in my being that literally it would kill me if I kept going in that direction. It would be so against the grain of who I am. And that sounds dramatic, but it literally was true. And so I was sharing that story in the foundation class, and someone asked, well, how do you get there? How do you get that voice? How do you get that knowing that you said that you had there? And what I shared is that it's already there for all of us. And the big difference is, are we listening? Right? Are we listening when we're getting messages all the time? We're getting something powerful happening all the time, but do we listen, or do we tune it out? Do we block it out? Do we find ways to not listen, right? I remember in my early days of meditation, I started meditating when I was 19. I just picked it up as a stress relief technique while I was in college, and then found out that it wasn't really just about stress relief, that it was some deeply spiritual thing. And we have a wonderful workshop today with Vish Chatterjee around meditation. I really invite you all to attend that. It's called for beginners, but really anyone will benefit from what he's going to offer today in terms of really establishing a great meditation practice for yourself. And what I would notice in my early days of meditation is I'd be humming along. I'd be meditating every day, and then a day would go by where I wouldn't meditate, which is fine, okay, maybe it was just a busy day. But then 2 days would go by, and I still didn't meditate again, and 3 days. And what I noticed, if it was more than 3 or 4 days, I'd have to ask myself, what are you avoiding looking at? What is it you don't want to look at? And this is what I'm saying when people say, well, how can I get that voice? It's like the voice is there, but what are we doing to crowd it out? Like, am I even sitting in my meditation? When there's something coming forth that is for me to know, for me to learn, for me to see, for me to be aware of. Because in meditation, the one thing, meditation really is just being. It's really just sitting down and being still and being. But one of the byproducts, if you will, of meditation is that everything that is, we become fully present to. If our mind is really busy, we become fully present to that. Some people say, well, I can't meditate because every time I sit down to meditate, my mind is so busy. Well, no, that's just because your mind was already busy. The only thing that happened when we sat down to meditate was we noticed that our mind was so busy, right? So we're talking today about the thunder of silence and really about the beauty of silence, the beauty of taking time every day to just be in the silence. And one of the reasons I offer these meditations, and I really want us having these meditations before service, and one of the reasons I want there to be so much silence in those meditations, if you notice, when I lead those meditations, it's not a guided meditation, right? It's not like, go now, see the forest, and see you now stepping over an ocean, and you now, and there's nothing wrong with those, but the reason that I do it mostly in silence is I know that we live, many of us, in a very noisy world. And I know that for some people, that might be the only time the whole week that they're completely in silence. My home is like a sanctuary in that regard because it is so silent in my home. And, I wake up in silence. I live my day. I do play music, but it's very intentional. If I play music, it's like, oh, I want to listen to some music right now. It's not like I just have the music just playing to drown out the silence. Or it's not like I have the TV. If I want to watch TV, okay, I want to watch something, and I watch it. But it's not like the TV's going the whole time just to drown out the silence. Or in the classes we have, right? If there's a moment where no one's commenting, sometimes we feel like we got to fill in that silence. As opposed to, wow, what would happen if we just allowed ourselves to be comfortable with that silence and see what gets born from that silence, see what gets birthed from that silence? So much gets birthed from the silence. Eckhart Tolle was telling a similar story in his book, The Power of Now, how before his awakening, and he was talking about this deep depression he was in, and in this deep depression, he had a moment where he was looking at his depressed self and saying, like, who is that depressed self? Something to that effect. But then he had a realization. He said, well, wait, if I'm saying who is that depressed self, are there two of me? And from that, he had this big opening and this big awareness of something greater of who he was. And then he also would have people come up to him and say, how can I get what you have? And he said, you already have it. You already have it. So I'm really inviting us today into this practice of silence, this practice of cultivating silence in our lives. One time, a few times actually, when I've stayed with people, I forget that not everyone has all the silence in their home. And I remember one time I was staying with someone, and I got up in the morning, and I'm like, I'm like doing my normal morning routine. Like, I'm going to go and do my meditation now, and I got my legs, I'm in my posture. I'm sitting cross-legged, and I'm all like, okay, And then suddenly it was like, whoom! The news was blaring. Suddenly they turned the TV on, and the news was not just on, but it was like blaring, and it was a small home. So it was literally blaring, right? And there I am, I'm sitting there, doing, and I'm like, okay. And of course, in meditation, we always take whatever's going on the outside and just let it be, and we sit in our meditation. But it was kind of like a jolt to the system. Then the person I was staying with comes running into the room and said, hey, what are you doing, meditating? You might not understand what meditation is. These sacred activities that we do, right? Like even here when we do our meditations, we could close the doors right at the time of meditation. That would probably be the ideal. Because once we're in that space, we're already in the silence, and we everyone who comes in the room, it shifts the energy, right? It's like, okay, even if they don't make noise, it shifts the energy. But we allow 5 minutes grace, and then after 5 minutes, we ask people not to come in. We're cultivating silence. We're cultivating a deep listening into our being. So much is there. So much richness is there right at the center of our being. When I was in ministerial school, one of our teachers was a Bible scholar. And he said, back in the biblical times, God was always talking to someone. Like God was talking to Moses, and God was talking to this one, and God was talking to that one. But then many of us were taught that was just God talking to those people. And God doesn't talk to you. You have to go through some intermediary, like me, oh, well, he's a minister, so God speaks through him, so go to him. Of course, we don't teach that here. We don't teach here that you need an intermediary. We teach it's right where you are. So he said, this professor said, you know what, did God stop talking? God was doing all this talking. And it's like that infinite intelligence, that infinite wisdom is talking to each one of us all the time. And in the stillness, when we enter that stillness, when we enter that quietness of our being, let's see how quiet it can get in here. We enter that quietness of our being. I'm sorry to interrupt the silence, but there's something so powerful in that silence where something can be born, something can be birthed. In the silence, we listen to that still, small voice. Joel Goldsmith, he goes, you know how we've been talking about these states of consciousness. State 1 being things happen to me, and that's like that victim. State 2, we start to have dominion, we can speak our words. State 3, we're in surrender and we're just allowing ourselves to be used. State 4, we let go of all that and we're just in the oneness. And Goldsmith kind of skips right to state 3 and 4. But he does talk about how in his early days, he was using the mental aspect. However, he later talks about how if we bring the spiritual into the mental, then it's still in the state 3 and state 4. So he says, I'm going to read a quote to you here from Joel Goldsmith from this book, The Thunder of Silence. He says, mind, your mind, and my mind, imbued with spiritual truth, becomes the instrument through which God manifests, and God appearing becomes the body of our outer world. And he goes on to say the whole secret lies in making the transition from thinking, plotting, planning, scheming mind to a mind at rest in a state of awareness through which divine ideas can flow. There's a reason why in our teaching we call it spiritual mind treatment. That we call it spiritual mind treatment. We don't just call it mind treatment, right? That's what we call our prayer. So, everyone's waiting for something to happen, right? What if this is the thing? What if silence is the thing? We're waiting for something out there to happen. Maybe Reverend Gregory will share something really wise and insightful. What if the most exciting and meaningful thing that's happening is happening right within you? You may remember I shared in the first church that I was the minister in, there was a woman who actually, ironically, used to attend this center. But my first church was up in Davis, California. And this woman used to attend here. And she would take copious notes while I was speaking. And one day she came up to me and she said, "You may notice that I take a lot of notes." And I was feeling really good, right? I was like, wow, she's hanging on my every word. But then she said, "I just want you to know I'm not writing down anything you say." Ego. She said, "What I'm writing down is what Spirit is saying to me while you say what you say." And to me, even though the ego got deflated, to me, that was way more meaningful. Because that's the teaching. The teaching isn't that the truth comes from some leader or individual. The teaching says that the truth is right within each one of us. That each one of us has just as much access to the truth as everyone else. It says that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. Anyone may become a revealer of truth. So we have to listen to our children. We have to listen to our children. When I was a child, I had all kinds of spiritual knowledge that I was kind of talked out of. Just a kid, you don't know what you're talking about. The children have all kinds of knowledge, and every other age group. The elders have every age group, every person is a divine place where Spirit is happening. I'm inviting us today to recognize all that's happening at the center of your being. So much, the thunder of silence. We get silent, but all these things get revealed. All this self-awareness comes in. And all transformation, as I see it, begins with awareness. Until we see where we are and honestly look at ourselves and be very self-aware, everything just kind of stays status quo. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said that we always have to begin right where we are. Well, in order to begin right where we are, we have to get still enough and listen in enough to know, where am I? As opposed to the ideas that we might have told ourselves of where we are. Like when I came into Science of Mind and I left that corporate job that I talked about a moment ago, I thought I had a huge consciousness of prosperity because I had always made good money. But then when I was left to my own devices and I left the specific ways that I made that money, I was floundering financially for a couple years. One of the reasons was that I wasn't accepting where I was. I was wanting to be somewhere different than where I was, and my mind said, oh, I have this great prosperity consciousness. The moment I finally could surrender and say, no, this is where I am, is the moment that things began to open up. One of the things it took for me was a book by Catherine Ponder, and in that book, she said, look through all of your This is when I was really financially like in some dire straits at that time. This was like 30 years ago. And she said, look through what you already have, and you probably have like money you don't even know you have. And I thought, no, definitely not true. Because I was way on top of my money. You know, I tracked it carefully. But I was desperate. And so I humored her, you know, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go through all my things. I go through this file cabinet, and in that file cabinet, I find a check for $250 to me from like 4 years ago, that appears that it was never cashed. I called the company, and they're like, what? But then they said, okay, we'll research it through accounting, and sure enough, I had never cashed that check. So it's not like $250 was going to make me rich or anything, but what it did do is it made me aware that sometimes I'm thinking I know it all. I got my mind so made up that if I were just to let go of that and open up and listen more and trust more. And so that was the opening. That was the opening of self-awareness, of like, okay, if I was wrong about that, what else might I be wrong about? And so it was the beginning of listening more, of opening up more, listening to other people, listening to other teachers, being teachable. So I'm sorry for the awkward silences today, but it was intentional. I want to invite us this week into intentionally having awkward silences. Like, let go of the need to fill it in. And recognize, oftentimes in those awkward silences, something really powerful is happening. When you don't know what to say, and no one else knows what to say, and maybe there really isn't even anything to say, there's something powerful in us. Like, what would happen if you're in that depth of silence where you didn't try to fill it in, if that very thing you've been struggling with and trying to figure out, either dissipate it because you saw the truth of it now and it's not even a problem to begin with, or the whole solution just came pouring forth. So much is born in the silence. And yet, we make so much effort to not have the silence. So that's the invitation today. It's probably the most unusual invitation you've ever had. Have yourself a week of lots of awkward silences. And enjoy it. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. We've got our choir again.
Welcoming up the Joyful Waves Choir again. Woo-hoo. This song is called Love Yourself, and it's featuring soloists Carla Dominguez and Paresh Shah.
Always remember who you are. You wanna be the girl in the picture, well, you gotta meet her.
shine.
It's time to shine.
Baby, you're a goat, and everybody knows. Time to let it go through your soul. Sugar, you're a star, even with your flaws, you're unstoppable. Can't nobody bring you down when you're high. All you got to do is love yourself.
Love yourself.
If you just believe you're all you really need, you won't need nobody else. Get up,
If you love yourself, get
Hey.
up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up.
love yourself.
If you love yourself,
Hey.
get up. If you
Love yourself.
get up. If you
Love yourself.
get up. If you love yourself.
See the shining sea, we all could come together, make this world much better, Get up on your feet, we're dancing in the street, time to celebrate liberty. Yeah, we come this far, but got so far to go. Hold on, baby, don't let go. If you feel alone, just listen to this song. Love yourself, you can't go wrong. Can't nobody bring you down when you're high. All you got to do is love yourself.
Love yourself.
If you just believe you're the one you need, you won't need nobody else.
Get up. If you love yourself,
Hey.
get up. If you love yourself,
Hey.
get up. If you
Love yourself.
If you love yourself, if you love
Self, get up.
If you love yourself,
Get up.
If you love yourself, get up. If you love
Let me hear you say, mirror, mirror on the wall.
mirror, mirror on the wall.
Confidence unstoppable.
Confidence unstoppable.
True love is the solution.
Love is the solution.
Be a part of the revolution.
Be a part of the
Let me hear you say
revolution.
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 The category is revolution.
Revolution.
Bring it, revolution.
Revolution.
Revolution,
Revolution.
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 We got revolution.
Nobody bring you down when you're high. All you gotta do is love yourself. And if you just believe you're the one you need, you won't need nobody else. Get up if you love yourself. Get up.
If you love yourself,
Hey,
if you
love yourself. Love yourself. Hey, love yourself.
get up.
Love yourself. Hey, yeah.
If you love yourself,
Well, love yourself. Yeah. Love yourself.
love yourself.
Hey, love yourself. Hey, love yourself. Love yourself.
If you love yourself,
Well,
get up. If you
love yourself.
get up. If you
Love yourself.
If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself, get up. If you love yourself.
That was our Joyful Waves Choir. Let's hear it for our soloist, Carla Dominguez. Carla Dominguez right there. Let's hear it for our soloist, Paresh Shah. Paresh Shah over there. Let's hear it for our soloist on the first song that they did, Lisa Cruz. Yeah. And also Jean-Louis Boudreau. And let's hear it for our choir director, Elise Carver. Yes. And thank you to our ushers coming forth here. We got Linda and Bob and Vicky and Mary Lou. All these wonderful beings. I'm always in so much gratitude, especially for all of you, the way that you show up in service, the way that you show up with your financial support of the center, and so many other ways. I'm also grateful that people in the center practice the teaching so deeply. We have so many study groups and various groups that come together just to study and practice together. I think that's awesome. It's the kind of community I would love to be a part of, and hey, I am a part of. It's good. Life is good. So we have many ways to give. You can text to give 424-379-3733. You can go to the website, redondocsl.org/donate. You can use the QR code, cash checks, all good. Someone told us you got to start taking some of these, cryptocurrency. Okay, well, all right. Well, someone show us how to do that. Because I don't know. Thank you so much. And let's take our gift in our hands and place our hands to our heart as we say our affirmation together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is.
Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, I'm grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for believing, I'm grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Thank you, Elise. Thank you, John Louis. And I remind you that at 12:30 today, after you grab a few snacks back there, come back in here for Vish. Stand up and wave your hand there. This is Vish Chatterjee right here. Some of you may remember Vish from when he did a Vedic astrology workshop with us that was beautiful and wonderful. And I talked with Vish earlier this week, and what he has to offer us here today is awesome. It is so powerful, his knowledge and experience of meditation. So if you've struggled with meditation or haven't been able to get yourself a meditation practice, come show up. It's going to be good. Also, this coming Friday, you won't want to miss our author-speaker series on Friday evening. It's going to be really great. Raphael McAllister he's really a dynamic mover and shaker here in the South Bay. And he's doing a lot. We're kind of parallel. I see us as aligned organizations. His Indivisible Arts is the organization he runs, and he wrote this beautiful book as well. He is doing powerful work right here alongside us in Redondo Beach. So Friday evening, come to the Author Speaker Series and see him. But first, come do the meditation workshop today. All right. And then now, let's be in the now, right now, let's stand and do a prayer. Because you all pray so beautifully. Your words are so powerful. All right, here we go. If it's comfortable for you to repeat after me, there's only one life. Oh no, we got to get into our power. Let's like get yourself situated there. Get yourself like really anchored there, and get that solar plexus. Ah, yes. All right. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life right now. As such, I, Gregory, speak my word. It is a word of power unto a law. I now declare that awkward silences are totally okay with me. For in that silence, greatness is revealed. Creativity is unleashed. Clear seeing is mine. I embrace the silence. For right there I meet the presence. And life is good. For this awareness I give thanks. And for all the fruits of this awareness I give thanks. I release my word. I let it go. I know it is done. And so it is. Yes. Good job. Good job. All right, so I'm going to invite you to take the hand of your neighbor if that's comfortable, and we're going to sing the peace song. Ministers, practitioners, come on up here with me. Come on up, Dr. Moira, with one of my favorite colors on. Give Dr. Moira a hand for this beautiful, look at this amazing woman here.